Hi folks, hope you're doing well. It's just gone 9 p.m. on the 2nd of the 6th, 2020. Oh dear. Another video on this George Floyd situation, the protesting, and the police, the way they are handling the situation. I tell you, watching this stuff, your humanity gets pushed in so many ways. Emotions get pushed. I'm just watching the now this news of it, and I'll tell you, yeah, watching that, and it's clear as flipping day. The police are dressed for a war. They're going out looking for a war. You've got people peacefully protesting, and the police suddenly pull up and shower them with tear gas. Yeah, they're looking for a war, and they had cameras out there with reporters, and there were examples where you could see quite clearly a reporter, press person on the floor, being told to get on the floor. He's telling them he's press. Police officers walk past him. One of them sprays him with tear gas. He's on the floor. He's already submitting. And now you spray him with tear gas. Really, which is a weapon of warfare. You spray him with this. Jesus Christ. You are asking for people to react in a way that police officers are going to lose their lives. And in big numbers around that country, around the United States. It's going to happen. You are inflaming the situation on a regular basis. You've got no flipping sense. All you need to do is stand there. You don't need to get involved. You just need to make sure that the protesting is peaceful. That's it. Keep your distance away from people. Be respectful of why these people are protesting. But no, your ego is affected, isn't it, really? Yeah. They're saying that the bad police officers should be sacked, should be arrested. And you get offended by it. Why? Are you a bad police officer? Quite clearly. If you're walking past people on the floor and pepper spraying them in the face, you are a nasty piece of crap. And you have no business in the police force in any way, shape, or form. But equally as annoying is the people that are looting. You are destroying property that's probably owned by people of the same skin colour as George Floyd, which you say you are protesting to protect these people. And you are out there stealing their stuff because it's an opportunity for you to get free stuff. You disgust me. When it's out of order, you're destroying people's property and But when you're watching it, it's called Now This News, and this one was done on goodness knows when it was done. Where it says 1 day ago now, so I just 1 day ago would have been the first. That isn't the one I was watching. The one I was watching was longer than that. Vice. Oh, this is different. This was Vice News Tonight. 1st of the 6th, 2020. Their episode. What's that? It's a bit longer than the Now This News. Somehow I thought it was because it's the same, but this is police are attacking journalists. I mentioned that in the previous video. But no, the one I was just watching, I downloaded it It was Vice News tonight. And yeah, it's tough because it shows the first bit of the video shows the police, it shows looters, it shows both sides. It shows the press being attacked. It shows the way the police are, as I say, they're out for war. They're out for blood. They're out for blood. One of theirs killed somebody by kneeling on the head when the person was saying he can't breathe. You have people around saying, check his airway, check his whatever they were saying. Check that he was still alive, basically. And the officer was just standing around chatting. As if, well, what these people are saying doesn't matter. Why should we check that? We're the police. We're the law. We're above all that. And all these police officers, again, what they're saying is we're above that. We can't be guilty. We are the law. You're accusing us of being out of order. So instead of actually saying, let's prove we're not, what they're doing is saying, let's prove we are. Let's prove we're disgusting, despicable human beings who should never have had any place within the police. Which again, you look at the bosses. Like with any organisation, look at the bosses. Look at who's actually running this. They're to blame. Sack them. Don't just go after the 4 officers that were involved in the death of George Floyd. Go after the bosses. You have to go after their bosses. As I say, that particular officer whose knee was on George Floyd's head, he had had a litany of accusations against him. They knew who he was. They knew who he was. They did not care in any way, shape, or form. They are as responsible as he is for the death of George Floyd. It's disgusting stuff. It's not something that should be seen as acceptable in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, the way they've gone out, their attitude, their mentality, that's all down to their bosses. All down to the way their bosses have told them to get out there. Yeah, get out and be ready for war. These black protesters are after war. Go and give them war. Give them hell. It looks as if that's what their bosses have been talking to them about doing. Sorry, brain isn't working. It's 9 something. Struggling right now through tiredness. But yeah, it's a ridiculous situation that we see all these TV programs about police, and we see how the police supposedly, before they go out, the top chappie has a little chat with them. This is what we want from you today, right? This is what we should be expecting, blah, blah, blah. Now, it seems as if they've had some complete lunatic gearing them up for going out on the street, meeting these protesters. It could simply be how news is doing it. Yeah, no idea. As I say, it looks like the police are mad. It looks like they're looking for a fight. And your human reaction to that is understandable, that you are thinking, give them a bloody fight. End the whole lot of them. It's understandable when you look at that and say, do that. Yeah, that's a bizarre situations. As I say, the best way to deal with protesters, especially after something like this, is you stay respectful. You keep your distance. Especially in a city where it happened, you keep your distance. You say, right, okay, they're angry with us right now, understandably so. They're angry with us. One of ours has killed one of theirs. Yeah. So, therefore, understand that they're angry. Understand they're going to be a bit abusive. But keep your distance. Be respectful. Keep calm. And unless you absolutely have to, don't do anything that could be seen as you're looking for a fight. But instead, they seem to have been told, go out and look for a fight. Let everyone know that you're all brainless morons. Last video is called Worthlessness-ism. Well, who looks worthless in this? The police. They look to be the ones who are worthless. They don't look to be of any worth at all. When the wise move would be to be respectful, be calm, stay distance. Whereas what they're doing is they're getting in the faces of the protesters and, shooting them with rubber bullets and, firing tear gas at them for no reason. Spraying people in the face who are already on the floor. Crazy. When there were people protesting as well about that, the lady I mentioned in the previous video, who was in a bed at home with her boyfriend, and the police burst in to her home and showered her with bullets. Now, the police have said that it was a drugs raid. Did they find any drugs? Nope. And nobody involved in the shooting of that woman has been arrested. They've been put on some sort of early leave situation while it's been investigated, but I imagine they still get paid, still got all their benefits. None of them at all have been fired. Or more importantly, arrested. And the moron who thought that it was wise to burst into the house opening fire because it's a drugs raid when there was no drugs on the property, again, why is that person not been held accountable? That boss detective, the head of that, whatever, who decided that, yes, this place is a place of interest for drugs, when there was clearly no evidence about that whatsoever. No evidence to back that up, because there was nothing in the property. Not as if they really gave the people a chance to actually get rid of anything, because they burst into the house, and as soon as they saw any movement, bang, 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 bang. This poor woman who was a doctor, I think a doctor, gunned down in her own bed. Despicable. Absolutely despicable. And again, the police are surprised and shocked that people want to protest that. And that people are upset about that. If I burst into someone's house and start shooting the crap out of those people, there'd be no doubt I'd be arrested. I'd be found guilty. But because they have a police badge, it means that they're protected. They always have a get out of jail free card. And it does seem to be the case that the police in the US and in the UK all have get out of jail free cards. Now, excuse me, we didn't know we were all playing the game of Monopoly. And that the murderers, the ones who murder the most, all have get out of jail free cards. I mean, if the police were a person, they would be on the FBI's wanted list for the amount of murders that they've committed. I mean, they'd be the most wanted. I mean, for an organisation that's supposed to protect and serve, their death rate is incredibly high. Again, not just US, UK as well. And you could probably put France, Germany, and a lot of other countries in there as well. Police brutality is not just America, the UK, Russia, China. It's widespread. Obviously, at the moment, the focus is America on the police here, and it usually is because there's just something about the police in America. That America itself is a violent country, is a country that celebrates guns. So with that being the case, and the police being armed to the blinking teeth, obviously there'd be an awful lot of wrongful deaths. And you can see the point of the prosecutions. Why would you want to prosecute people? Because it is a violent country. And the police do have to be armed to the teeth because so many citizens are as well. So, of course, the police should be able to protect themselves and protect the people. Now, when things go wrong, that's a consequence, I suppose. Again, it's all down to you employ the right people. Don't employ psychopaths. And make sure your bosses are not geeing people up to be flipping psychopaths. Because that's it. It's quite likely that the bosses are saying, "Oh, the way this police officer is being, hounded by the press and by the mayor, and it's disgusting. He made a mistake. He shouldn't pay with his life for that. He served the country. He served the people for all these years. They've got an agenda against us. Therefore, winding the police up before they even get out there. And then telling them, oh, we're suspecting that the people are going to be violent towards you. So don't let them do that. Calm the situation down. That chap who I've mentioned before, Bew, on the fifth column, he did a video earlier about... it's a weird analogy. I got it after a while, but it's a bit of a strange one. But talking about the fact that the murder of George Floyd was a big spark, and that all these other things are little sparks, and the people are like tinder, and the situation is like big campfires. But it made sense to a certain degree that stop adding tinder, stop adding sparks to the situation, because he was saying something in the area of sticks are attracted to sparks or something like that. So therefore you'll get more fires because you've got more sparks. You have to read it. You have to listen to what he says to try and make more sense of it than I could. Generally speaking, I have not gone camping, so I have not really been any part of any campfires. So I understand that sparks from a campfire can be a problem, certainly in forestry areas. But I don't understand probably half as much as he does about that. But he was speaking about that situation. As I say, the police stop doing things that are just going to antagonise an already bad situation. Reactions to watching that were extreme. And you got to look at yourself and say, okay, you calm down as well, because this situation is what it is. It's an incredibly bad situation. And I was watching the protesters speaking and saying, they're going to continue protesting until things change. It's not going to work. No way, shape, or form. That's not going to work. Not in any way, shape, or form. You've got no chance of that happening. Not at all. There's just no chance of that is going to work. Because we've had these things before, and how does it end? The protests fizzle out. Nothing changes. A few weeks later, another person dies. Another person is killed by the police. And all the protests start again. With these protests, something a bit strange. You've got the George Floyd situation and the situation of the woman killed in her own bed, where that was being looked into, and the findings of that only come out over the last few days. So people have come out protesting that at the same time as people are protesting the George Floyd situation. So it looks probably a bit worse than what it is. So as I say, that's why reactions-wise, yeah. Well, there you go. Right. Yeah, as I say, in the end, I think we all need to use wisdom, especially in situations like this. We all need to use wisdom. I think certainly if you are an authority, like the police, and the president himself, him sort of acting as if he's a friend of the protesters, but then threatening to bring the military in, even if the governors don't want that. It's insane. There's a lot of people not using wisdom. And wisdom is going to be one of the most important things that people can use right now. So you take care, God bless, and yeah, I've got no answers for this, really. Except, try and be respectful of the situation. On both sides, try and look at it from both points of view. I mean, as I say, I understand it to a certain degree from the point of view of the police. I really do. I understand that. At the moment, they are getting a lot of abuse and attack from the media and being accused of a lot of bad stuff. But some of that is their own fault. Yeah, I mean, in most forces, there are officers like the one who killed George Floyd. And it's up to those police officers around them to get rid of them, to get them out to the force. Because otherwise, your force is going to be the next one that people are protesting about. And if it didn't happen in your area, don't take it personally. If you're not a bad cop, don't take it personally. You've got these people protesting, they're highly emotional over what has happened recently. Just understand, it's not about you. Even though they might be directing it at you, they know it's not you. They know you didn't kill George Floyd. They know that. So, don't take it personally. Be wise. Just realise that, these people need to vent right now. You trying to vent at the same time is not going to help. Yeah, because it's not about you. It's not really about them either, to be honest. I said that in the last one. It's not really about them either. But it happened to somebody with the same skin colour as them, and they all take it personally when that happens. And they all have this victim complex, and part of that is understandable because it is well known that they are targeted a bit more by the police than people of pink skin. So, with that being the case, it's understandable they have a certain degree of victimhood. So, you take care, God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Nothing more to say about this one really today. So, take care, God bless you. Bye-bye.